Today we'll be looking at part 2 of the Cold War. We'll focus on some terms such as HUAC, McCarthyism, the Red Scare, and space. So remember what Red Scare means. We've already talked about the first Red Scare, but remember that it is a fear of communism and that red is associated with communism. We're going to look at what the Cold War in the United States looked like with this second Red Scare. J. Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI who authorized wiretapping and infiltration of groups suspected of subversion. The House Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC, was created by Congress to root out Americans that were suspected of supporting communist ideas. 10 of these movie industry people, known as the Hollywood 10, refused to testify in front of Congress, and they decided to go to prison instead of testifying to the HUAC. The Hollywood industry responded by blacklisting or denying work to 250 actors, writers, and directors who were suspected communist sympathizers. In February of 1950, this man, Joseph McCarthy, he was a U.S. senator, and he went on what is sometimes called a witch hunt for communists in the U.S. government. He claimed that there were 200 unknown communists in the State Department, and his unfounded claims ruined many government officials' lives and careers. The McCarthy Senate hearings created an atmosphere of conformity and fear, and this is all known as McCarthyism. Many Americans came to believe the U.S. had been infiltrated by communists. The downfall of McCarthy came whenever he took on the army. In 1954, he accused a general with some false reports, and public opinion turned against him. Ethel and Julius Rosenberg were charged with passing atomic secrets to the Soviets in what was called the Verona Papers. Both claimed they were innocent and would never admit to wrongdoing. They never admitted to it, and they were executed by electric chair in June of 1953. So again, we're looking at how the Cold War impacted or affected the United States on the home front. We also had, during this time, what became known as the space race. The Soviets had launched a satellite in 1957. It was the first man-made satellite in space, and it caught us unaware, caught Americans unaware. Americans began to fear that the Soviets had achieved superior technology, and we needed to get caught up. That's why it was called the race, the space race. The National Defense Education Act provided funds for math and science education. NASA was created, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and President Kennedy set a goal for the United States to land on the moon in the next decade. 1961, he set that goal, and it was achieved in 1969. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first two men to walk on the moon. This is a picture of Buzz Aldrin on the moon. And Neil Armstrong's famous quote, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." So the space race was another example of how the Cold War impacted the United States.